start off pick 2 with Wes Neighbors. How are you, Wes?
Doing good, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Sneed, Alabama, so it's beautiful country down here.
Well, I'm not in Sneed, but I'm sure it is.
Well, I know the biggest matchup, at least according to Game Day, is out in Utah, but I wanted to maybe talk a little bit about the Vols and the Kentucky Wildcats. I think that is a really intriguing matchup.
It is. So we've seen one team, though, Texas A&M, that couldn't keep, was talking about the Alabama game the whole next week, and I feel like the Volunteers have been too. What you don't want ever is the one loss to lead to another. And no matter what the circumstances are, that's the hardest thing in the world, is to keep from one loss leading to another.
Yeah.
And that's what I worry about Tennessee. I think Tennessee has the better team. I think Tennessee has the I really think X and O's wise they have the better coaches. Now, that's not a diss on Kentucky's coaches because I like them also. But I just think that Tennessee, all things given, should win this game. Hey, Steve, what's the line on this game?
Last I checked, I think the Vols, I was just looking at it, I thought the Vols were like a 2.5-point road favorite, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm trying to look it up while I'm talking right now, and the Vols are now a 4-point road favorite. They're a 4-point road favorite.
Yeah, so that's less than what I thought.
Really? You thought the Vols would be favored by more, like a touchdown?
Yeah, especially since how Kentucky's been really had some bad games this year.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see how Tennessee plays, as I said, because of the Alabama hangover. Big rivalry game they were up at halftime, and then laid an egg the second half. So it's but I think Tennessee has really good coaches, and hopefully they can push through that.
Mississippi State at Auburn. Auburn is a 6.5-point home favorite, and I don't know why I'm leaning Mississippi State, but that's just me. How about you?
Well, I kind of like Auburn in this game. I just think that Mississippi State, if Auburn can score 2 touchdowns, they'll cover.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they will.
Yeah.
I just think their running game is the difference in this game. If they don't win this game, bad news for Auburn. I mean, he's obviously going to underachieve his first year. This is a game. This is a must-win for Auburn, in my opinion. This is a game they need to win to be bowl eligible.
I have not really kept my ear to the ground on the whole Michigan story. Trying to see if there's I don't see any kind of huge updates. There is some scuttlebutt that there is going to be some news in regards to the NCAA on campus, probably Sunday or early Monday, from what I'm reading.
My understanding is that the NCAA is already on campus.
Yeah, no, that some news will be broke over the weekend.
I think they're in
where
trouble.
I'm heading.
I've been saying it all week.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know why people were poo-pooing it. This is a big deal, huge deal, on a team on a program that's trying to be non-compliant.
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much, in my opinion, Michigan has peed in their cornflakes, and then now this is a huge bad look for the NCAA. They don't do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is as I said, the beginning of the week, this is a big deal. This thing has legs. They were obviously blatantly breaking the rules. And this guy wrote a manifesto of what he was doing. That was all against the rules.
Yeah.
This is like the kind of like what we read. I mean, we saw on the shorts. It's almost idiotic. And
Yeah.
I don't know what they'll do. I don't know what the punishment should be. But obviously, I think it'll be something that'll keep anybody else from doing it ever again.
It's yeah, the story keeps growing and growing. We'll see if there's any impact, although Michigan bye week, by the way, for the Wolverines. So they are not in action this weekend, but there is a lot of, spotlights on Ann Arbor in a big, big way. And also what I heard is that the contract extension that the University of Michigan initially had drawn up has been kind of tabled a little bit for a contract extension for Coach Harbaugh because they want to see how this is going to play out, Wes.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, this is not a little deal. I never thought it would be. I couldn't believe the people that said it would be. I mean, this is a huge deal. The fact of basically, I think it's very obvious that the university is behind all this. Not the university, but the people in charge were. And it goes to, it's just, to me, it's ludicrous that they were so cavalier about it.
And blatant, especially on the sidelines.
Blatant and cavalier. Yeah, it means it's basically the same thing. It's just it's unbelievable to me that and when I saw that thing on Ohio State, I was thinking, this is bad, really bad. That guy having on the sideline talking to the defensive coordinator, and they're all looking at the signals. It's obvious, and they're making calls based on what they were signaling in. It's just crazy.
There is some news out of Knoxville late yesterday. Tennessee starting cornerback Camille Hayden underwent shoulder surgery. He is going to miss the remainder of the season. He had 15 career starts for the Vols. So far, this was his best season, but
he was playing really well. I hate to see that he got hurt.
Yeah.
He's going to miss the rest of the season. Hopefully that he'll be able to recover and be ready to go next year. The guy was playing really well. That's of course hurts them. It's next man up. It's not just Tennessee having those problems right now. It's everybody, right?
It is. It really is. So, with a bye week, what is on your plate this weekend? What piques your interest in terms of watching college or NFL football, Wes?
Well, I mean, I'm interested to see how Auburn plays against Mississippi State. I'm interested to see what we talked about Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yeah.
How they recover. And I'm interested to see the games out west and see how those teams. To me, I think the SEC is getting better, and I think the Southeastern Conference is improving. I see some of the other teams out west, kind of like USC, those teams, not quite doing quite as good as they were early. So to me, it's just interesting how this dynamic is going to end. Be at the end, right? How this is going to be, which conference is going to be the best conference at the end of the year, and I'm Michigan acts like people are trying to take away their national championship that they hadn't won yet. I mean, this is every year we hear about Michigan's national championship for the last 30 years, so I think that's kind of ludicrous. They have to play somebody first to win it.
Well, according to Jeff Sagarin, right now the SEC West is statistically the best division in college football. That's followed by the Big Ten East, then the Pac-12, the Big 12, then the SEC East. So this air quotes down year in the SEC is not at least being statistically shown.
Well, yeah. Well, I think at the beginning it was, though. I think it was down because you had all these, you had really one returning maybe 2 returning starters in that whole conference at quarterback. And I think that played into the early losses. And now you see these guys getting better. And I think that's part of it. It's obviously, though, the ACC is down, and I don't think a one-loss ACC team is going to make a playoff. I don't think a 2-loss SEC team will make it either.
So Florida State's going to have to pitch a perfect game to make the playoff.
I think so, yeah. Beating LSU. Now, if LSU goes on to win the Southeastern Conference, that might not be the case.
That's
but
fair.
If LSU loses another game, which will pretty much knock them out for sure. I mean, if Alabama wins out, then I think FSU has to be perfect.
Well, I know Texas fans would be rooting for that, but Texas fans have a few other things to worry about.
Yeah, I don't think Texas will. I think Texas will end up with 2 losses.
Yeah,
I really do. They lost a quarterback now. He kind of has been bailing them out when they play bad. And I don't think they've improved during the year.
Texas is at home to BYU this weekend, by the way. Florida State travels to the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest this weekend.
Right. I don't see anybody beating Florida State. I mean, they'll have to play really bad.
Yeah.
For somebody to beat them, including Florida. I don't think, FSU has an elite quarterback. They have elite receivers. They have a well-coached defense. It's just, to me, it's going to be a tough out.
Rest of the schedule for Florida State: at Wake Forest, at Pitt, home against Miami, home against the Lions of North Alabama, and then at Florida.
Yeah, if they play really bad and turn the ball over, any of those teams can beat them. I would love UNA to beat them. That would make my century.
That would be fantastic.
But I don't know if that'll happen. They'd have to turn over maybe 5 times and pick sixes, like 3 in a row. It'd have to be similar to the LSU-Auburn game that year. LSU threw 7 interceptions. They just run the ball 8-1. I mean, they'd have to take something like that.
Well, all righty, Wes. Enjoy your weekend. We'll reconvene on Monday.
Sounds good, Steve. Y'all have a great high school football night. That's for sure. Pick 2.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wes. 256-576-4977. We got the A crew back at the ranch as Chad drew the lucky straw to stick around. Mr. Guathny, I appreciate you sticking around, pulling double duty after the Tom Abraham show. 256-576-4977 is the telephone number for a Pick 2 Friday. And Wes mentioned it, so coming up in hour number 2, going to re-rack a couple of conversations that Wes and I had from earlier in the week with David Cutcliffe and Ryan Leaf here on the program. And Ryan Leaf will be on the call for tomorrow afternoon's matchup that you'll be able to hear right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone with Georgia and Florida as the cocktail party is once again renewed down in Jacksonville. Claude will kick us off. How are you, Claude?
Good, Steve. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Can I do the Pick 2?
Yes, sir. Vols at Wildcats.
Tennessee.
And Mississippi State at Auburn.
I think Auburn, even though I'm an Alabama fan. I think Auburn.
Your tiebreaker is total points for the Georgia Bulldogs tomorrow. Just Georgia. Total points for the Georgia Bulldogs.
35.
It is yours. Thank you, Claude.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Steve. I'll get off and let somebody else on.
Appreciate that. Jeff is next up. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
Doing well.
I had a question. My question is about basketball. Do you know when UAH, when their media thing is?
Media thing.
The media, where they predict who the coaches think are going to win.
That is coming up really soon because I'm a couple of weeks away from hopping on a bird to head down to Miami. In fact, 2 weeks from today will be the opener against Barry. So that will be November 10th. So I would assume within the next week and a half.
Yeah, I would have thought that it would be, in the next few days, if nothing else. But I hadn't seen it yet. But anyway, I didn't know if you had any insight to it. But anyway, let me go ahead and get on pick 2, if you don't mind.
Okay. Vols at Wildcats.
Give me Tennessee.
And Mississippi State at Auburn.
Let me have Auburn.
Total points for the Georgia Bulldogs is your tiebreaker.
31.
It is yours, Jeff.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good weekend.
You too. 256-576-4977. Bama James is up next. How are you, Bama James?
Yourself.
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
I'm just going to see if I can do the pick 2 this afternoon.
Of course. Appreciate you calling in. Vols at Kentucky. Who you got?
I'd like to say Tennessee, but I think they might be a little bruised up after last week. I'm going to go with Kentucky.
Okay. Mississippi State at Auburn.
Let's go with Auburn.
And then total points for the Georgia Bulldogs is your tiebreaker.
I think they're going to try to show out tomorrow. Let's go with 42.
It is yours. I'm all about that. I like that number. I like that number a lot. Thank you, James.
Have a good afternoon.
You too. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. Phone lines open to you on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Guys, music can inspire us. Let the concert quality sound system at Zoom Indoor Cycling help push you harder than you ever thought possible. No matter if you're a beginner or an experienced rider, you'll ride top-of-the-line Stages SC3 bikes as the most talented instructors in North Alabama motivate you to reach your goals.
You can do it!
Guys, time to find out what you're made of. Challenge your friends or just challenge yourself and get in shape at Zoom Indoor Cycling. Visit ZoomHSV.com to find out more. $2 specialty shoe rental per ride for new riders.
Electric cars are coming faster than you think, and that's why we're bringing SEMA Connect to Alabama.
Our team educates you and helps provide a long-term plan for your business. Where to put them, how to get them there, how to pay for them, tax incentives, service, and monitoring. We take care of everything.
Doing the right thing means bringing EV car chargers to Alabama. Let us help you with your EV charging plan.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
It is a Pick 2 Friday here on The Drive. I'm live here from Susan Moore High School, getting ready for week 9 already of the high school football campaign. In fact, this is it for region play. The entire picture, most of the picture, will be ready to frame later on tonight, and you'll be able to hear all the scores courtesy of Chad Guathney and Scott Tyson from the, now let's see if I can say this right, the Woody Anderson Ford Friday night scoreboard show powered by the Huntsville Sports Commission. I'm going to say that's a winner. Mark from Huntsville is next on a Pick 2 Friday. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing well, but I'm in Spring Hill now.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, I wish
that was a quick trip. I mean, if you were really in Huntsville when Chad wrote Huntsville to me, and you're already in Spring Hill,
that's like his
I want to
name,
know. I want to know what route you took.
Well, I'm with Coach Saban. You know, we got that party tomorrow night. So. I was just playing, but he'd be going the other way. Yeah, he'd be going the other way. No, I was just going to call in real quick. I know Wes is big on LSU, sounds like. Do you have anybody still coaching there, Wes?
Oh, Wes is gone.
Oh, he left.
He gone.
He gone.
Okay, he's gone now. Roll Tide, right? I want to get your thoughts. There you go. I want to get your thoughts on is LSU for real? Because I just don't have them as a top caliber, a team. And, I think.
Well, tell me who's elite. Who's elite in the SEC right now? Because I know we would all punt and say Georgia. I don't know how dominant Georgia is. I don't know how dominant Alabama is. I think questions like that make it harder to answer because Alabama is so young and the ceiling is very high, but the floor is a little low as well. So, I mean, they can play really good at times, and they can lay some eggs. So it just makes that question to me a lot harder to answer. I'm really not trying to, not answer the question, but I am saying it feels like a harder question to answer this year than in past years, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think one thing that I think separates Georgia and Alabama this year is how have the teams improved. And I think we'll see that with Georgia beating Florida by 3 or 4 touchdowns tomorrow. And I think we'll see Alabama beat LSU. It'll be a game that I think that they should beat LSU. It's a revenge game, you know. Nick Saban does great in those games, revenge games. But I just don't think – I think LSU's got, 2 losses already, and I just don't put them as elite. I don't put them as elite. I think Alabama losing to, a credible team in Texas, I do think they've gotten better. But other than Alabama and Georgia, I just don't see any other team in the Southeastern Conference that right now is going to dethrone those two, and they're headed to Atlanta.
Well, I mean, I think Missouri has something to say about that. I really don't know how good or bad Missouri is. I think LSU has something to say about that. I think they're very dynamic offensively. If they get it figured out defensively like they have really over the last, the last 3 quarters in Missouri and what they did against Auburn, I mean, and they did pitch a shutout against Army, but I mean, just sticking with the SEC teams, if they do figure it out, especially defensively, they could be a real problem in Tuscaloosa next Saturday.
That's it. Who do you think's got the more difficult track to Atlanta, Georgia or Alabama?
I would say Georgia, because Bama's tougher games are at home.
There you go. You take care. Thank you. And hey, Kentucky game scares me more than LSU as an Alabama fan on the road, by the way.
Do you want to partake and pick 2?
I can't.
Didn't he win? So I'm saying.
He won.
So,
that's
yeah,
right.
That's all I'm trying to get his info. So.
Thank you.
I mean, if he wants to pick,
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There. All right. Bye-bye.
Try not to let him win twice.
On the subject of LSU, had an opportunity to talk to Brian Kelly, the head coach, about next Saturday's game.
Wanted to ask about Alabama, maybe an early thought of what you see out of the Crimson Tide, Coach.
Well, look, very well coached. I mean, that's obvious. Talented defensively. I think they've recruited very well defensively. Length at the outside linebacker position, big and physical inside. Really like McKinstry, the corner. The safeties are athletic, can cover man-to-man. Really love the personnel on defense. Offensively, big offensive linemen. The skill positions are underrated. I think they're all guys that can make big plays. And the quarterback has developed over the past 4 weeks to be a dual threat quarterback that can run it and is very underrated in terms of what he's been able to do the last few weeks in terms of throwing the football. He's made big plays. So an emerging offense, one that has skilled players on the perimeter, and then I think a really athletic defense. That structure is very sound.
How big was that win last year for your program, year one, that overtime victory over Bama, you think, Coach?
Seems like an ancient memory. I mean, it's what you've done lately. I mean, it helps build your recruiting. It helps build the momentum in your program. We've got some work to do, clearly still in recruiting, but it helped in the recruiting process. But those are definitely steps in the right direction. But as I said, for us to get into the ranks of Georgia and Alabama, you got to be able to do this thing consistently. So for us, it's about consistent performance, and we haven't been as consistent yet. that's what we'll be looking to model after the Georgias and the Alabamas is consistency in performance.
That is Brian Kelly from earlier in the week in the SEC teleconference. If I have time, try to squeeze in a few more conversations I didn't get a chance to from earlier in the week, including Billy Napier as well as Clark Lee. I've not played that conversation as Vanderbilt travels to Ole Miss. Crimson Carl is up next on a Pick 2 Friday. Phone lines open to you at 256-576-4977. How are you, Carl?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
Doing well.
Where are you at tonight?
I am at Susan Moore High School, just south of Sneed.
Okay. Let me go ahead and jump on this pick, too. I'm sure you got other people waiting.
You got it. Vols at the Wildcats.
Tennessee.
Next question. Yeah. Was that long enough silence?
And Mississippi State at Auburn.
Give me Mississippi State.
Sit behind a shade tree, eat a fish sandwich, and drink a lemonade with your fat little girlfriend.
Oh, wow. We're going there. Okay. Total points for the Georgia Bulldogs is your tiebreaker, Crimson Carl.
Let's go 34.
Vince Dooley and the Georgia damn Bulldogs, baby.
Thank you, Crimson Carl. Appreciate the phone call, sir.
All right, man. Y'all have a great night.
256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. Tomorrow afternoon, you'll be able to hear the cocktail party front and center, courtesy of Westwood One, right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And had a chance to talk to Billy Napier, a good long conversation with Billy Napier about his team entering into his second cocktail party.
I wanted to ask about Carson Beck. What do you see out of the Georgia quarterback, Coach?
Yeah, I see a talented athlete and passer. I think he's obviously been there a number of years. He's got really comfortable in their system. I think he's got arm talent. He's very accurate, and certainly, he's done a nice job making some plays with his feet, so and he gets better every week. I think as he gains more experience and gets comfortable, you can see his confidence grows. But he's got a really good group of players around him. They're really big, tall, long up front. Really good group of skill players in every room. So he's played well. And you can see why he was one of the better quarterbacks in the country coming out.
And at least Kirby's reputation, especially on the defensive side of the football, Coach, is getting plays checked to his strengths. So what is a key or two for a coach to get your guys in the right place and the right check at the right time, Coach?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I think the game ultimately, the players, obviously the caliber of player, the height, length, the speed. I think this is a group that has confidence and is very comfortable in their system. They communicate at a high level, and they're able to do that because of that. I think the continuity in the system and the number of reps that they've accumulated in their career, allows them to be multiple. And I think ultimately there always is a little bit of a chess match going on in terms of trying to, who's got the pin last. I think the key is that we do our part to position our players to have success. You don't like plays as a coach where maybe you don't have an answer for the players, right? So both of us, we're well versed. We know the issues, and obviously I have a ton of respect for Coach Schumann and Coach Smart.
How's the week of practice gone for you, Coach?
No, I thought Monday, coming off of a couple of days off, we were a little sluggish early. And then I thought we got better as the practice went, and I thought we were much improved yesterday. So, there had really been a couple of days there without football. It's natural for that to happen. But I do think overall the kids are excited. There's good energy. There's focus. Thought we finished the right way yesterday, and then certainly today will be a really important practice.
What is that next level, that next step you'd like to see your team take on Saturday, Coach?
I think just steadily improving. I think we've got. I'd like to see us put more of it together. I think parts of our team have played at a really high level at different points throughout the year. And I think ultimately for us to continue to grow as a team and as a program, we need consistency across the board, right? We can't have one position group playing at an elite level and then this one drops off. So individual players playing their best, position groups playing their best, the units complementing each other, and ultimately for our team to play at a really high level, we have to play well in all three parts of our team. So, just improvement, right, and consistency. I think that's the key for us.
During the off season, Coach, when you're talking to supporters of the program, how big is this game in the off season? How much is the Florida-Georgia game talked about from people that you interact with, Coach?
Yeah, I think if you're the head coach at the University of Florida, there's a lot of games that are important, and certainly some more than others to people that have a history here, right? And I think ultimately this game, there's a long list at Florida, right? We've got a history with a lot of teams, but this one with the states bordering each other, obviously the history and the tradition behind the game, our fan bases have to live with each other to some degree in certain parts of each state, and it's what makes college football fun.
That is my rather lengthy conversation with Billy Napier from the University of Florida from earlier in the week. 256-576-4977. Badger Larry is next up on a Pick 2 Friday. How are you, Larry?
Doing good, Steve. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Great. You should have a good game tonight.
I think I will. This is Madison Academy is undefeated, and at least in region play, a one-loss team with Susan Moore. So I'm excited about this matchup here tonight.
Good deal. I'm excited about tomorrow night. Got a big game. Got a big game in Madtown. So.
Who's Wisconsin got this weekend?
Ohio State.
That's right. Yeah.
So.
Don't you know?
We'll see how it goes, but we got a backup quarterback in there, but he played pretty good last week. So
did he?
For a freshman, he got the Big Ten Freshman of the Week award last week. So.
Well, I am officially on the Big Ten media email list, and I did not read a whole lot from the Big Ten office about this sign stealing thing.
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger from what I hear.
So it is.
They had a budget for.
Yeah.
I guess they got to approve. I guess that it's illegal because even I heard Saban get interviewed by McBee or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And it sounded to me like he didn't act like it was that big a deal. So
no.
I don't know.
But we shall see.
Yeah.
Your game tomorrow night's on NBC, by the way. Now you got a good crew doing it. Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge. So that's a good little 1-2 punch right there.
Yep. Well, everybody be in pretty good shape for that. And when you got all day to tailgate in Madison, it should be a pretty good time. So.
Never.
used to do
I've
that
never
years ago.
taken in a game in Madison. Need to do that.
Fantastic. You do. It's a beautiful campus. It's between two lakes.
Road trip.
Just
We're going
gorgeous.
to the road trip. We're going to the Wisconsin-Alabama game. We got to do it.
So that's next year,
Road
is
trip.
it not?
Road trip.
Next year.
I would love to go to Camp Randall. Old Civil War camp. I mean, that's the coolest thing to ever visit outside of a actual stadium. Yeah.
You don't have to hard sell me on this. I mean, I'm in. Badger Larry, you got a place up there?
I want to jump around. I mean, I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That worries me now. I've been there so many times. That is an old stadium. It worries me having 100,000 people jumping up and down at one time.
Be like the old Legion Field.
You can feel it shaking. I can promise you that. It's a lot of fun though. It's a great
I have been to Kyle Field, and it does shake during the pregame when they're swaying back and forth, and that's a neat experience there at Kyle Field. But yeah, no, sign me up. I'll put it in the budget, and we'll just accidentally go on a road trip next year. That sounds pretty fun.
I plan to be there myself. So.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can't make that happen. You want to hop on pick two?
I do.
The Vols visit Kentucky.
It's going to be a close one, but I think Tennessee will win it by a field goal.
Next question. Yeah. Was that long enough silence?
Mississippi State is at Auburn.
I think Auburn will pull that one out.
War Eagle.
Total points for the Georgia Bulldogs is your tiebreaker.
That is in Florida, right?
Always in Florida.
Yeah, I think that'll be, for them, I'm going to go 27 points.
Vance Dooley and the Georgia damn Bulldogs, baby.
Thank you very much, Badger Larry.
All right, have a good weekend.
You too. 256-576-4977. That is the telephone number. Be sure and download our app because we have got a ton going on tonight. As I tell you, I'm here at Susan Moore High School. Our game will be over on Zone 2. And then over on Zone 3, actually, you've got a lot of playoff implications going on here tonight with Madison Academy at Susan Moore. Randolph is at Priceville. That is on Zone 3. And also huge playoff implications with Sparkman at Florence. That's on Zone 4. But if you want a little puck action, the Huntsville Havoc playing host to the Pensacola Ice Flyers. That's on Zone 5. So we've got you covered in a big, big way here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. So download our app. Let's go ahead and take our final time out here in this first hour. Phone lines open to you on a Pick 2 Friday. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. It's hunting and tailgate season and time to get serious about an F-150. We've got nearly 140 to choose from, and without a doubt, one of the best F-150 values on the road today is our STX package. You get 290 hard-working horses mated to a 10-speed transmission that'll take you everywhere, from that tree stand to downtown Tuscaloosa. Body-colored bumpers, halogen headlamps, 20-inch machined aluminum wheels, and lots of tech, like a rear-view camera with dynamic hitch assist, which you boaters and RVers will love. A 2023 Woody Anderson Ford F-150 STX packs a punch, but it doesn't cost you a bunch. You can drive one for $474 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $51.66 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends October 31st. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Come test drive an F-150 STX today. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Is your AC system or heating unit making those sounds that go bump in the middle of the night? Thomas here from Talon Heating and Air again. Thomas, you guys are just a phone call away from keeping those ghosts and goblins from causing nightmare problems.
That's right. We're offering a $59 special right now to do a heating tune-up. That's getting your air conditioner or your heater ready for the wintertime. We're also doing a free gas safety inspection along with that. So if you have gas in your home, we have Master Gas here on staff. We're certified with the state to take care of all your gas issues. So we're going to throw that in with that $59 tune-up.
And if you can get that tune-up now, it'll be ready to go once the cold temperature set in.
That's right. Yeah, all you have to do is give us a call at 256-503-4490. Visit us at our website, talenthvac.com. We'll be more than happy to get out there and get you tuned up.
One more time with the phone number.
256-503-4490.
Talent Heating and Air. Don't let those heating and cooling units go bump in the night.
AL cert number 21014.
Cheeseburger Bobby's has a great new way to feed the family with 2 $30 family packs. The first is the Tenders Family Meal. 20 delicious chicken tenders, fries, and a gallon of tea. The second is 4 cheeseburgers, fries, and a gallon of tea. Your choice, just $30 each. These specials are good for carryout and online orders only. Log on to cheeseburgerbobbies.com to order. And don't forget frozen custard for dessert. Cheeseburger Bobbies, 2785 Carl T. Jones Drive, Huntsville, and at cheeseburgerbobbies.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a 5th generation Huntsvillian and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough we can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything and we can offer you a solution to repair it or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey Wes, we show up.
The Huntsville Sports Commission is driven by you, driven by those with grit, determination, and a goal to succeed. This is why we do what we do. The Huntsville Sports Commission promotes an enhanced quality of life in the Huntsville area through sports. We work hard to make sure those who come to Huntsville to compete have all they need to be the best they can be. The Huntsville Sports Commission. We do sports. Find out more at huntsvillesports.org.
The throw and catch to the Ocho will stand. Desmond rolling to the end zone, dives for the score.
Download the app and listen to Atlanta Falcons football right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Robinson caught it off his hip and he scores. Unbelievable.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Back here with you on a Friday edition of The Drive. I filled in so much on Talking Ball this week, I almost came back and said, welcome back to Talking Ball. Anyway, let's see whether or not Scott and Drew can actually host a full week of shows next week. Knock on wood. Knock on wood if you're with me, right? Kentucky is playing host to Tennessee. That is part of our pick, too. So you better believe I talked to the man in charge for more than a decade up in Lexington, Mark Stoops.
Well, I wanted to ask what you saw film-wise in the Alabama-Tennessee game. What stood out to you in that game in particular, Coach?
I think two very good football teams. I mean, just two strong teams, across the board. Just very good, very well coached. And offense, defense, special teams. I think what stood out is two physical teams.
And at least what I'm reading out of Nashville is that Ryan Tannehill is going to be injured this weekend with the Titans hosting the Falcons. The reason I'm going here is because the opportunity potentially here for Will Levis and what he meant to the program while he was there at Kentucky and his opportunity this weekend, Coach.
Well, I just have a lot of faith and confidence in Will and great appreciation for what he did for us and what a great, person and leader he was first and foremost, and just wish him the best. There's a bunch of people here in Lexington that care about him and are root for him. So if that's the case, I'm sure he'll do a great job and he'll be well prepared.
I really wanted to go Tennessee offensively. They look a lot different than they did last year. I was hoping you could speak to the adaptability that Coach Heupel uses year to year and kind of caters to his strengths.
Yeah, I think, they do a great job, as I mentioned. I think you just look at it me with a defensive background, balance is key, right? And they're pretty darn balanced. They're 217 to 220 rush pass, so they're very balanced. Joe Moulton is playing at a very high level. He's an experienced guy. He's been around. They always have dynamic playmakers. I think their running backs are probably don't get talked about enough. I think both of those players, are just very, very talented and very dangerous when they get to the second and the third level. So, they always keep you off balance. I think that's the key.
How's the week of practice been for you, Coach?
I've been pleased with our guys. I really have. Like I said last week, we needed some time to, just rest up. We needed to get better, and really do a lot of good on good and just work on ourselves with getting ahead a little bit, but did a lot, probably a little bit more good on good than I usually would. I did a lot of that last week, carried it forward here this week. So I feel like we're getting better, and hopefully that'll translate.
That is Mark Stoops from earlier in the week, and he said something to me earlier in the teleconference. It's a reason why I asked him in particular how the week of practice has gone, because he did say that how they practice ultimately is how they played. Remember, Kentucky struggled in a big way out of the gate against some lower-tier opponents. So I think hearing how the week is gone, and remember that week that leading up to Georgia, he was not very happy with his team when I talked to him on that Wednesday of the Georgia week. So we'll see how things transpire tomorrow up on Rocky Top. 256-576-4977, the telephone number, 256-576-4977, the number to be a part of the program. And we did not get to do it on time. Let's see whether or not I can cue this up. Love Child, are you ready? Yes or no?
I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready.
Your money or your life?
I can take money and I can make it into more money.
I'm not making it into more money this year, that's for sure, Steve. 1 and 2 last week. I decided to go punish myself and look back at my picks last week for once. 1 and 2 this time. I said a lot of nice things about Penn State, and they let me down, so never going to do that again. And I did not believe in the Gus bus at all. Despite, you made a good call there, Steve. Said it was kind of a
I
surprise.
tried to convince you.
You did.
It just there are certain games where Gus, and that felt like one of those deals to me.
Yep, and you were right. I really should have known better too, especially considering that guy was my team's coach for 8 or 9 years. But I digress. Yeah, and the only one I got right, which was Michigan, who's gotten a lot of airtime this week. I don't know. They're lucky that they're off. They're lucky that they're off this weekend, I think. But I was thinking about it on the way back. I think they have Penn State in 2 weeks at Penn State. And if they do not have a long playlist of songs that make mentions of signs, then Penn State has failed. I just want to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should make a playlist.
How about Ace? Nothing but Ace of Base, I Saw the Sign. How about that?
Yes. That Signs by Tesla needs to be on there, too.
Oh, okay.
In fact,
yeah,
I think we should make
one.
this playlist, Stephen. We should send it over to Happy Valley and be like, for your consideration.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll be real quick here with what I got this week. More tough ones. So I'm going to start off at the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. And I'm going to branch out. I'm going to look at the over-under. Right now I've got 47.5 points is the over-under for that one. Brock Bowers is still out, correct?
That is an affirmative.
All right. I think that Brock Bowers is worth at least 14 points on his own. And Georgia's favored by 14. I'm not sure if they're going to cover or not, but I'm going to stick with the under here. I think that we have ourselves kind of like a 24-17 game. And keep under that. My second one, I found a cool stat about this one today, and it influenced me to make this pick. Got Wisconsin covering at home against Ohio State this weekend. They're a 14.5-point underdog. The reason I'm picking the Badgers is because Camp Randall has not been kind to Ohio State in the last several matchups. I believe going all the way back to 2000. Ohio State they're 4-2 in Camp Randall, so a winning record, but 2 of those wins have come in overtime by a touchdown, and I believe the other 2 are by less than that in regulation. So it's a really tough place to play for Ohio State. Going to go with the Badgers there. And then my last one, since we're running short on time here, I'm going to take a page out of Crawdad's book. I was out here Wednesday night for Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff, and they got UMass this week. Army is a 9.5-point favorite against the Minutemen. I think if Auburn can beat UMass by 50, Army can beat them by 10. That's really all there is to it for me.
Transitive property, is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly, which is never not applicable to college football, right?
Of course.
Never.
It just makes it that much easier, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
very easy.
That is love to lose money, and there is
everybody
no
needs
doubt.
to pick the opposite of that. Yeah. All right.
There is no doubt Jackson has been loving to lose money this football season. Final call for phone calls on the other side of this SportsCenter timeout. Walking you up to high school football action here tonight, week 9 of the high school football campaign. Final week of region play across the state of Alabama. We'll be right back.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter. It's game 1 of the World Series. I'm Chris Smith. The Diamondbacks face off against the Rangers in Arlington for the Fall Classic. Nate Eovaldi will be on the mound for Texas, while Zach Gallen gets the start for Arizona. And he says all the doubters have fueled the Diamondbacks' fire.
If you're in any sort of competitive field and somebody tells you you can't do something, or they think somebody can do it better than you, I think that's kind of a main reason probably why you're where you are today. So yeah, I think for us, it's not necessarily that, I don't know, I'm speaking from me, but I don't think it was necessarily that people thought that we couldn't do it. It was just that no one expected us to be here. And it was like, we're here, we might as well just see what happens. Let's just, and then, yeah, I mean, you find little things along the way that kind of just fire you up and just motivate you, really.
The Rangers are seeking their first World Series title, while the Diamondbacks are looking for their second since 2001. Game 1 coverage is underway on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, the first pitch coming up in about 1 hour. On to the NFL, where the Niners' Brock Purdy is questionable for Sunday's game against the Bengals, according to Coach Kyle Shanahan. Purdy is aiming to pass the final step of the concussion protocol on Saturday, and if he does, he will start. Also, left tackle Trent Williams, questionable with an ankle injury, which is an improvement from doubtful last week, as he did some work early in practice today. And the Titans will be without starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill for Sunday's game against the Falcons, according to Coach Mike Vrabel. Tannehill was unable to practice all week because of a high ankle sprain he suffered in Week 6. NBA, the Nets have ruled out forward Cam Johnson for tonight's game versus Dallas with a calf contusion.
Hey, it's Greeny, and what a weekend we've got working. The World Series is upon us, and of course, all the football, college, and pro. Monday will be the place to talk it all over. It's Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Final hour of the week is upon us. Just had the sunset off in the west here at Susan Moore High School, and man, it is just a pretty night for football. And Madison Academy out on the field. Likewise, so are the Bulldogs of Susan Moore, as kickoff is an hour away. Final call for phone calls here for a Pick 2 Friday. 256-45. What am I giving you? 256-576-4977. I think I was about to give out my cell phone number. 256-576-4977. Well, I do have my cell phone in front of me, so that'd be interesting. Nick is next up on a Pick 2 Friday. How are you, Nick?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing well.
I just want to jump on the Pick 2.
You got it. Vols or Cats?
Give me Kentucky.
And Auburn or Mississippi State?
Give me Auburn.
Total for the Georgia Bulldogs is your tiebreaker, Nick.
Give me 28.
28 is yours, Nick.
All right, I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Mike, we'll squeeze you in. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing fine, Steve. Thank you.
You want to hop on Pick 2?
Yes, sir.
Vols or Wildcats?
I'm going Tennessee.
And Auburn or Mississippi State?
Oh, my gosh. I'm a State fan, but I'm going to go Auburn.
Total points for the Georgia Bulldogs as your tiebreaker.
Who's Georgia playing again?
Florida.
38.
Ooh, I like that number, Mike. I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right, too.
Have a good weekend, sir.
You too. Thanks, Steve.
And that is going to wrap us up. And at least for a Pick 2 portion, Wes and I had a conversation with David Cutcliffe as well as Ryan Leaf And going to re-rack that, and that'll walk you up to Buckhorn football over the airwaves as Buckhorn travels to the River City, heading to Ogle to take on the Red Raiders of Decatur High School. I'll be over on Zone 2 for Madison Academy taking on Susan Moore. Randolph will be on Zone 3. They are at Priceville. Zone 4 features Sparkman. They'll be at Florence tonight. And Zone 5, well, at least somebody's at home. It's a home game for the Huntsville Havoc. A home opener as they open things up. And Buckhorn is at home, really?
Yeah.
Well, darn it, I was hoping that they'd go to Ogle. Just so just so Tom Abraham could enjoy the majesty that is Ogle. But I guess that's a home game there for the Bucks. So thank you for that info. But nonetheless, got high school football all around, including some Havoc hockey at the top of the hour as well. Austin Coletti will have that call over on Zone 5. I say all that to say that you need to download our app and just enjoy the night of football and hockey right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. That'll wrap us up here for this portion of the drive. I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios